What if the truth about the origin of black people has been hidden in plain sight, within the pages of the Bible? For centuries, scholars, theologians, and everyday believers have read the same book. But few have paused to ask, who were the descendants of Ham? And what if they were the ancestors of Africa's greatest empires? According to the book of Genesis, after the great flood, Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Japheth, and Ham. Shem became the forefather of the Semitic peoples, Jews, Arabs, Assyrians. Japheth, the ancestor of Europeans and many Asian nations. And Ham? He became the father of nations with dark skin, the cradle of African civilization. Ham's children were Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. Cush became the father of the ancient Nubians and Ethiopians, Mizraim of the Egyptians, Put of Libyan tribes, and Canaan of the Canaanites. These names appear not only in scripture, but in history, geography, and ancient cultures across Africa and the Middle East. Cush is referenced over 50 times in the Bible, often translated as Ethiopia. Ancient Nubia was known as the Kingdom of Cush, a powerful civilization south of Egypt, with pyramids that rivaled the pharaohs. Mizraim is still the modern Hebrew word for Egypt, Mizraim. Egypt, a land of mystery and might, was tied to Ham's lineage. The people of that region were described as dark-skinned, regal, and wise. Put is associated with Libya and other peoples of North and West Africa. Canaan, though cursed by Noah for his disobedience, was never a representation of all African people, only his own lineage. Let's be clear, the so-called curse of Ham is a myth. The Bible never says Ham was cursed. It was Canaan, Ham's son, who received Noah's rebuke. But over time, that misinterpretation was weaponized, used to justify slavery, racism, and colonization. The truth is this: Ham was a builder, a pioneer. Some traditions say he founded the first city after the flood and named it Male Talak in honor of his wife. He lived for hundreds of years, watching his descendants flourish. From the Nile Valley to the highlands of Ethiopia, from the savannas of Sudan to the cities of Carthage and Mali, the bloodline of Ham carried knowledge, innovation, and leadership. Even today, echoes of Ham's children are found across Africa, South India, and even in parts of Southeast Asia. And then there's the Book of Jubilees, an ancient Jewish text not included in most Bibles, which adds even more depth. It describes how Ham's descendants were destined to inherit the lands of Africa, while Canaan defied that and tried to settle in the territory of Shem, what we now call Israel. According to that book, Ham and his sons opposed this move, but Canaan persisted. That, not skin color, was the reason behind the biblical curse. So, the next time someone tries to tell you that Africa has no place in sacred history, remind them of Ham. Remind them of Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. Remind them that the Bible begins with Africa, not ends with it. This is not about rewriting scripture, it's about reading it accurately. Black history is not separate from biblical history. It is biblical history.